All right, guys, today we are going to be reacting to the truth about German pride and patriotism. Let's jump in.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
Of
United,
the United States of America.
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. What I just recited was the Pledge of Allegiance of the United States. Currently, 47 of the 50 states in the US require some version of the Pledge of Allegiance to be said, allowing for certain exemptions for staff and students who don't want to participate. So I grew up saying this in school at the start of each school day since I was 5 years old. I never thought anything of it until I moved outside of the US. More on this later, but first we have to turn our attention to Germany. One thing that is pretty typical for Americans to notice when they come to Germany is the absence of German flags flying everywhere. In the USA, you see American flags everywhere. Not just literally the flag flying, but the image of the flag everywhere, on t-shirts, on hats, on bumper stickers, on keychains, on phone cases. There's a whole American flag merch industry. But in Germany, it's incredibly rare to see the German flag. I can think of one building in Schwäbisch Hall that is consistently flying a German flag. So this building right here is basically town hall or city hall, and you'll see there's no German flag on it. In the States, this would absolutely have an American flag. Okay, back to the Pledge of Allegiance. This is totally normal in the United States, but this would never happen in Germany. After getting to know a lot of Germans, they find this to be creepy indoctrination, which looking back on it now, I can kind of see that. I had a really interesting conversation with my friend Riley about this subject.
American flags all over a lot of houses, American flag merch and stuff. And in Germany, I mean...
Which I don't know, I find it interesting just because it's like, I understand the fear, the history behind it, but like, it wasn't that flag.
Right.
So that seems like it should be a symbol that they should re-energize around and
Oh, I like that a lot.
You know what I mean?
Because I think
right
right
now,
now,
symbol of change.
When people see a German flag, they kind of feel like, oh, because
Yeah,
of that.
but who feel like that? Now, who feel like that?
Really? It's a different flag representing the change.
And maybe that's just me, because when I see a German flag, I just think Germany.
Yeah.
So if we're judging patriotism on flags and Pledge of Allegiance, then it appears from the outside that Germany has no pride in its country. But this is not...
I don't think so, right? I think it's a different way. They just simply don't want to show their flag. I'm very practical, guys. I see, they just don't want to show the flag. That's fine. Not a big deal, right?
Case. Germans actually are proud and patriotic. Start talking about beer or cars or soccer. Germans will get patriotic real quick. But it's a different kind of patriotism. So let's talk about it. But first, a quick message from our sponsor who's become a huge supporter of my YouTube channel, CyberGhost VPN. Yeah, so anyway, back to the online privacy stuff. You're using a VPN, right? Try. So it is in your face. German patriotism, if you want to call it that, is quiet. It's subtle. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious to think, okay, because of the history of World War II, Germans can be uncomfortable with any sort of showing of...
Yo, I have to say, Nalf has one of the best soundtracks in these videos, man. He's just putting cello, orchestra, like, he has a very good soundtrack. I enjoy his videos.
Or flag flying. I had a conversation with my old football coach of the Unicorns, Ziggy. He's in his 50s now, but he remembers growing up that you would really never ever see the German flag. It's only now in sort of the younger generations that people are being a little bit more comfortable with the German flag, especially showing
looks bad. Hey, your flag looks badass, man. I'm sorry. That black and red and yellow, it looks German, bro. Like,
times like this, World Cup time, these are really sort of the only times where you will see German flags being flown on people's cars or from their balcony. It's super interesting to have a conversation with a German about this topic, because a lot of times if you ask a German, hey, are you proud to be German? They'll say, Why should I be proud? I was just born in the country by coincidence. I didn't accomplish the things that the country has accomplished. Why should I feel proud? And this is a pretty common response. And if you look at the dictionary definition of proud, it says, feeling deep pleasure or satisfaction as a result of one's own achievements, qualities, or possessions, or those of someone with whom one is closely associated. Which this is super interesting, because I would say that I feel proud of my family members when they accomplish something, but also I am closely associated with them, and you could argue that I had some sort of influence on their life, therefore having a right to feel pride in their achievements. This matches up fine with that definition. But I would also say I feel proud of people that I am not closely associated with. Say there's like an old friend that I lost contact with 15 years ago, and I see them from afar on social media accomplishing their lifelong goals, and I had nothing to do with it. I was not an influence, I had nothing to do with it, haven't talked to them in 17 years. I feel proud of them. Now, I'm speaking super generally here.
Yeah, so I see what he's doing, right? There's some kind of genuine desire or feeling good about people achieving things, whether or not they have a close encounter with you, but you know they were part of your circle. You see what I'm saying? They were part of something that you were identified with. I understand what you're saying.
If you don't apply to this, but I would say, in my opinion, Germans draw a line much closer than Americans do on who they allow themselves to feel like they are associated with. I feel Americans, on average, are more apt to feel an association with another American, and therefore find a way to feel pride in their accomplishments.
So there's this pretty popular post on Reddit that sums this issue up pretty well. And it says,
Germans are patriotic. In America, you show patriotism by attaching a full-size US flag on your pickup truck, or singing the national anthem before every single baseball game. In Germany, we show patriotism by voting for higher taxes on ourselves to make healthcare and college tuition universally accessible to our less fortunate fellow citizens, and by picking up after one another to keep public spaces clean and nice for everyone.
Yeah, this is more like a cultural, this is more like a conscious thing. This is more like a conscious effort. And this is another way of showing proudism, right? Proudism? I think so.
There's two quotes that I very much like, and it's that Americans will say that they are proud to be American, and Germans will say they are glad to be German. It's a different, carefully chosen word.
Another great saying that I've heard quite often and I really like is, Germans are proud to not be proud.
This fits the German mentality perfectly. What's super interesting to me, though, is all of this subtlety and delicacy melts away when you start talking about regional pride in Germany. It's as if the Holy Roman Empire never ceased to exist. You go to Bavaria and you'll see Bavarian flags everywhere, Bavarian flag merch, and when you ask a person...
But you know what's crazy? Europe is like that. Spain is like that. Spain, when it comes down to Catalonia and in Madrid, Catalonia flags are everywhere. You're not gonna see a lot of Spanish flags. So it's very common from a lot of regions in Europe to feel pride. Even in Britain, the English flag and the Wales flag and the Scottish flag, the Northern Ireland flag, they had that kind of. They feel more patriotic, and that makes sense where they come from.
If they're German, they'll say, no, I'm Bavarian. Think about Cologne and Dusseldorf. This is one of the biggest regional rivalries in Germany. The rivalry is currently played out with sporting events and talking shit about one another's beer and culture, but the roots of the rivalry go way back. It's way deep. Some say the Battle of Wuringen on June 5th, 1288 is what started this rivalry. Deep roots, which is much older than the current country of Germany as we know it today. And there are tons of examples of this throughout Germany, of regional rivalries. It even goes village by village, of small villages which have a couple hundred or 1,000 people who have a huge, long-time rivalry with the next village. But like I said, this goes way back before the formation of modern-day Germany. It's so deep-rooted. And this is why I think that the regional pride is so much more outward-facing, loud. more similar to American pride. So guys, I'm incredibly interested to hear your perspectives
Good point, man.
on this.
No, he broke it down very nice. Yeah, I think there's a different kind of patriotism in Europe, in the United States, right? Or any countries that are newly being invented or built, right? Different, right? I think Australians, the patriotism of Americans will be very similar to Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Mexico. You know, these are newly invented, I would say, or formed kind of countries that don't have like a long history compared to these Europeans or old world countries. So give and take, right? So let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear you guys' opinions. In the meantime, guys, I will see you in the next one.